What's going on, guys? It's your boy Disdecoder, and welcome back to another Yugituber ruling quiz. Today, I have two of my good friends out here to test their knowledge on rulings. It's the Crush Cards! How you guys doing, guys?
Fabulous. Hanging in currently in the middle of our supathon, so we're tired, we're hungry, but we are here to lose.
You're not gonna lose. I'm sure you guys are gonna do fine. For the Crush Cards, it was a little bit more difficult. You guys are actually the first time I have a team, a duo, answering my ruling quiz, and it was a little bit more difficult to figure out what deck to ask you guys about because none of you play the same deck. Like, I know you guys are like, I like Tri-Brigade, I like Zoo, and Brian's just like, out of left field, I like Zambies. And I'm just like, okay, what am I gonna do, you know? So I decided to, try something a little bit different, and we're gonna mishmash two archetypes together that go well. We're gonna be quizzing you today on live twin sprite rulings. Just to give you guys a little bit of a reminder on how the game show works, there will be 8 ruling questions that I'm going to be asking you. The goal here is to score as high as you can. All you got to do is beat out 4 out of 8, okay? Because Farfan and BT scored 4 out of 8. You beat them. You're not the lowest score, and that is what you're aiming for today. Sound good?
Let's go. Surely we can do that, chat. Surely.
We will try. We will try our best.
Surely. So, for this game show, you do have 2 lifelines that I will remind you to use. The lifelines you have access to for this episode are the Ask a Judge, where you can ask me, the judge, a question that you could ask a judge at a table while you're playing a tournament for something that would not be considered coaching. Other lifeline you can use is you can ask the Twitch chat. You are able to poll my Twitch chat, ask them any question you like with any answer you would like to give them the option to vote on. You don't have to go with the answer that the chat gives you, but you are allowed to ask the chat to see whether or not you like the answer they're giving you or if it gives you a little bit more confidence in the answer that you want to be giving. Sound good?
Great. Yeah,
sounds great.
Sounds dandy.
All right. Well, with that being said, are you ready to get into question number 1?
Run
guess so.
it!
All right. Let's run it with question number 1. You control a live twin Lila, have Sprite Blue in your graveyard. Your opponent controls a Bean Soldier, and they have a face down Book of Moon. In this instance, you're going to be activating your Sprite Smashers, banishing the Sprite Blue from your graveyard, attempting to use the effect to banish a monster from your side of the field and your opponent's. Your opponent is going to be chaining their Book of Moon to flip your live twin Lila face down. When the Sprite Smashers resolve, how does it resolve?
What are your thoughts?
I feel like you can. You knew it was a 2, and then it was flipped down, and I feel like it's still knowledge to you. It's so tough. What do you think?
I think the thing for me is, so Smashers does not target your level 2, so it's not like it targeted prior. It is just part of the effect when it resolves. So I guess the real question here is, does the face down level 2 still recognize, or does the game still recognize that it is a level 2? I am going to say I believe it does, and I think you can still activate and resolve Smashers.
So your answer here is that you can resolve the Smashers, you will still banish your Lila and banish your opponent's Bean Soldier?
I believe that is yes. I will go with yes.
Can I get a final answer on that one?
Final answer.
All right. Well, we are off to what is known as a fantastic start because you guys are...
Yes!
Because you guys are incorrect. The Sprite Smashers. These Sprite Smashers will resolve without effect. It will not be able to recognize that your face down live twin Lila is a level 2 monster. Basically the difference here is a lot of people make the comparison with Sprite Smashers and something like Icarus Attack. When a card tributes for cost, you can still tribute for cost to face down, but something like Smashers, which will banish them for effect, when it resolves its effect, it's not able to verify that this is a level 2. So for that reason, it will not banish a card.
See,
For what
that
it's
makes
worth.
sense.
Yeah.
In my brain, that was kind of like the teeter point. It's like I don't know. I understand that logic completely, but I am here to speed run losing, chat.
All right, so you're currently 0 for 1. It's okay. One little slip up in the beginning. Joseph also missed the first one, so you're fine.
Nerves. It's the nerves.
It's okay. We've broken the ice. You have 7 more questions to go. Are you ready to run it with question number 2?
Yeah, sure.
Let's go.
All right, let's run it with question number 2. You control a gigantic sprite and a cat shark. In this position, you control gigantic sprite, which has sprite elf as material and a cat shark. You activate the effect of the cat shark by targeting your gigantic sprite, making its attack and defense double its original attack and defense. Afterwards, you activate the effect of the gigantic sprite and detach the sprite elf. How much attack does your gigantic sprite have after this resolves?
So I feel like this is, maybe I'm insane here, but I feel like this is a trick question because Cat Shark says double the original attack anyway, so it's not like it would double gigantic sprite attack if it had the link monster under it. Even though the link monster is detached, it wouldn't apply the original, or it wouldn't apply the boost anyways. So I think even after it resolves, it would still just be originally doubled, so 32.
Can I see sprite gigantic really quick? I just want to read.
That might be a good read, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to look, the
So
original
gigantic-
attack
yeah,
of this
I
card.
think
See,
that
that's what I was
says-
thinking. That's what I was thinking, because I'm like, I think it says original attack.
Does that
Okay,
change?
so-
Does that change your line of
Yeah,
thinking here?
Yes,
I
it
think
actually
so.
does now. Yeah, it totally
Okay,
changes
cool,
now.
It
cool.
does. Okay. Okay, so it's at 32, and then Cat Shark doubles it, so then it's 64.
Give me your thought process. Do you guys know your stats modification rulings?
Nope.
Yeah, we're learning new stuff every day. That's
I mean, hey,
crazy.
you guys do have 2 lifelines.
Okay, can I read? Okay. Oh God. Okay. 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 I think my brain is turning the gears. I am just trying to figure out the words in my mouth. No, but so because gigantic says the original attack of this card becomes X or whatever, and then Cat Shark says it doubles the original attack until the end of the turn. I think
The question is, does the boost still apply once the link is detached?
I'm just gonna say 32. I'm gonna go 32. I'm just, you know what? Speed running
do
away.
you agree? Do you agree with 32, Bri?
I genuinely don't.
You
And
don't?
That's why
What's your-
I didn't want to. So I didn't want to say anything.
What's your thought
because I know
process here, Brian?
Once I say it, Logan's gonna go with me, and then if it's wrong, it's my fault.
I mean, hey, no. Sometimes that's how it's got to be.
It's
What's your
hard
thought,
because
Bri?
Cat Shark, one more time. I'm sorry. My thought process is when Cat Shark targets the gigantic sprite, it recognizes that it's 32, so it will double it to 64. And then once it's detached, the Cat Shark is already resolved and the effect is already applying. So my thought process is it will be 64 because Cat Shark targeted the gigantic sprite while it was boosted.
All right. Well, I'm going to need a team consensus on this one. I need the team to
you
agree
guys-
on one answer because
Are you
I'm
guys
hearing
ready for this
32.
6-hour episode?
We need a 32
no.
or a 64, or you can just go
Okay.
smack dab in the middle and just say 48 if you want to.
Just throw it in the middle somewhere. It's like,
Something is telling me to go with 32.
I'm feeling 32. But if we're wrong, I'm gonna feel so guilty. Like, we're so wrong. I'm gonna say 32 final answer.
Are we getting it? Was this a final answer, 32?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will let you know that one of you two is correct. One of you
Not me.
is correct.
It's not me.
And unfortunately, Brian was the one who was correct here. The logic here is specifically the fact that Cat Shark makes the attack of Gigantic Sprite become a certain value. And when it becomes a certain value, any previously applying lingering attack and defense modification to the original attack of Gigantic Sprite stops being considered, and it freezes the original attack at 64 until the end of the turn.
To be
What
fair-
you said
to
is
be
what I
fair,
said. Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
said.
exactly.
I had that logic, but because it detached afterwards and stuff, I didn't know if that would override anything. So that's where I got all tripped up, honestly.
That being said, you are currently 0 for 2. It's okay. You still got 6 more questions to go.
I can still beat people.
You can still beat people if you get all of them right. Everyone's going to get their channel points. Everyone's going to be very happy. Are you ready to get into question number 3?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
All right, let's run it with question number 3. You control an evil twin Trouble Sunny. You also have a live twin Kiss-a-Kill Frost in your graveyard, which says that if a card is added from the main deck to your opponent's hand by a card effect while you control an evil twin monster, which you do, you get to banish this card to draw a card. Here, the opponent is going to activate the Lullaby of Obedience, declaring Bean Soldier. In this situation, you will resolve the Lullaby of Obedience, giving the Bean Soldier from your deck to your opponent's hand. After this chain resolves, can you activate the effect of Live Twin Kiss-a-Kill Frost in order to banish itself to draw a card?
Man, we're supposed to be friends, bro.
What do you mean? Lullaby of Obedience is a completely fun and fair card for rulings, I'm telling you.
I've literally never read this card in my life.
I know we're tripping up, and that's like, it's got me tripped up too. It's because it says the opponent's hand, whereas it says the person who activated this card.
Yes.
So like that's what's
literally
got
what
you
I'm
all
like,
messed up.
All right.
Oh wait, sweep. Oh wait, sweep.
Oh, wait, sweep.
Oh, or wait, hang on. This could get even worse. Hang on. This is where Logan's overthinking goes into overdrive.
Oh, I love when people overthink on my quiz.
So I think it will, but I don't think I have any basis because it just says the declared monster is added to the hand of the player who activated the card. Yeah, like I feel like because it's the main deck, that's a main deck, and it's going to your opponent.
So my brain is like way overthinking as well because it feels like the applied effect is your opponent revealing one card, and then the resolution is the adding. So it's like if Kiss a Kill, or if Kiss a Kill says add, and the applied, like it is still one of the effects, so it still does apply the effect. So the effect would be to add a card. I think
it resolves.
I want to say I think it also resolves, but I feel like I feel like you wouldn't put this on there if it was that easy.
Or it is. Or
you're being an exam Andy now. I love the exam Andys. I love the exam Andys that are like, this seems too easy. No, that ain't it. Or like, if I ask a question in 2 parts, it's like, can you activate? And if so, how does it resolve? It's like, well, you wouldn't ask me how does it resolve if it can't activate, right? Like, people do that all the time. The exam Andys, bro. Logan thinks it can. Bri, do you want to agree, disagree? Where are you feeling?
I'm overthinking. I'm thinking that Frost is, it's like, it's if, not when. So I don't know. So you know what? I'm gonna abide with Logan here, and I'm gonna say it will resolve, and you do.
Surely I'll get one of these right.
So the answer you are giving me here is that you are legally allowed to activate the Kiss a Kill Frost on resolution, banishing itself to draw 1 card. Correct? Can I get a yes or a no? A yes or a no?
Sure.
Yes.
For the very first time this quiz, you guys are correct. You are legally allowed to activate the Kiss a Kill Frost because a card was added from the deck to your opponent's hand. You are allowed to activate Frost, banishing itself in order to draw a card. Congratulations, you guys are on the board.
Look, we drew Smashers. If our opponent has Book of Moon, we're screwed.
You are currently 1 for 3. The 6-8 dream is still alive. You are not out of it yet. Are you ready to get into question number 4? All right, let's run it with question number 4. Here you control an evil twin Trouble Sunny. You also have an evil twin Lila in your grave and an evil twin Kiss a Kill. For the purpose of this, we'll assume everything was properly link summoned, everything was properly summoned, and you're good to go. When resolving the quick effect of evil twin Trouble Sunny, is it possible to summon no monsters?
I'm gonna go with a no. You have to summon 1. You do not have to summon both, but I do think you have to summon 1.
Well, hold on there. There's 2 people here, brother. I think you are. Because, like, why? Like, Lilith can just tribute herself. I don't know. I'm kind of like devil's advocate here. I feel like you can just, like, because she just tributes her cause. So it's just like, Like, it's a matter of, like, if you have legal targets, not, like, legal cards you can summon off of it, do you have to actually attempt to resolve it? I don't know. Do you want to, like, ask it? Do we, it's only question 4. Are we losers?
I know.
Like,
I don't know. Like I understand where you're coming from, but I also feel like you're way too hard reading into this question.
I think you're not, like, the last one you spent 40 minutes reading all of my obedience, and this one I'm like, why do you think you have to, like, do it? Are you saying no or yes? I already forgot, actually.
I'm saying no, you have to summon at least 1.
I am loving every part of
Like,
this.
what
This
the
is
hell?
great.
Poor Dan editing this. I'm so sorry, Dan, in the future. I'm so sorry. Like, okay, so I guess it's, okay, so maybe I'm reading the question wrong. So it says, when resolving the effect of Trouble Sunny, is it possible to summon
You have to resolve the effect.
Yes, so you legally activate the Trouble Sunny. Activating Trouble Sunny here is legal. When you resolve the effect of Trouble Sunny, are you allowed to choose to not summon Lila and also not summon Kiss a Kill?
Yeah.
You can summon 1 and or the other, but I don't believe you can just summon none of them.
Yeah,
maybe I'm
summon
insane, and like if you're doing that in Live Twins, like, bro, go for it. But like,
Cool.
man, Farfa got these easy like
Fogblade Turbo
Fogblade questions, bro. What the hell? We got this. I'm going with no. You cannot just choose to summon nothing.
Final answer?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are correct. You are not allowed
Yo.
to choose to summon nothing.
Easy.
Why do I get yelled at? Like I just.
So the reason why specifically is because you cannot activate an effect and just do nothing with it. So whenever a card says up to one of this or up to one of that, you have to at least summon one. So even if the card said you can summon up to 17,000 cards, your options are 17,000 all the way to 1. Well, we are currently 2 for 4. You have 50-50. You're the 6-8 dream. It's alive.
It's alive.
It's not dead. We are
The
still good
doubters
to
are
go.
in shambles.
All right. So with that being said, are you guys ready to get into question number 5?
Let's.
Yeah.
All right, let's run it with question number 5. You control a Sprite Carrot and a live twin Kiss-a-Kill. Your opponent has a Mystic Mine in their hand. Here, your opponent is going to attempt to activate their Mystic Mine, to which you will chain the Sprite Carrot, tributing your live twin Kiss-a-Kill. In this situation, how is the effect of the Sprite Carrot applied?
I feel like this one's super easy. This one is you tributed with Carrot. You tributed a Kiss-a-Kill. So mine is currently negated, but if nothing else happens, when it passes back to your turn, mine will be, it will be live again.
I mean,
So if I'm understanding this right, you're saying that the Mystic Mine is negated for the duration of this turn?
So Carrot doesn't act. I thought Carrot said until the end of the turn. So it actually just negates the effect of the card.
Yeah, it negates the effect.
It'd be a lot easier here if your opponent just like summoned a monster and then mine blew up. At the end
Yeah,
of
that'd be
this.
so cool.
That would actually be very easy if that was the case, yes.
Like, what do you?
This sucks because like
Like-
I really want to like ask the like a judge for like a like another card. Like I'm trying to think like Red Hot Dragon Archfiend. I think what's being asked here is does Carrot negate it permanently or does
for
Carrot
the
negate
turn.
it for the
Yeah,
turn?
yeah. But like at the end, it says once per turn during the end phase.
Wait, are we overthinking this? How does the effect of Carrot apply? It will just negate Mystic Mine. Period. There's no
No
follow-up.
duration of time.
Yeah, there's no follow up to that question. It will negate Mystic Mine. Period. Final answer.
I'm gonna need a little bit more than that, to be honest.
Want to say there's no way it just negates it forever.
I'm also in that
Like that
camp.
seems unreasonable. And like I don't know, man.
I think you are in a rabbit hole that is so deep you need to pull yourself out.
No, I like it down here. The bunnies are soft.
It's weird because like I've like in all the times of activating like red and Carrot,
This has never come up.
it never yeah, like it just also just like the card never stays on field, it just leaves. It's like
Yeah.
cool, oh mine's negated, awesome, I'll just activate another one. It's like, oh, cool. Sick game, bro.
Whatever. Just pick something. It's fine. The dream. It's over. Just pick something.
I mean, hey, if you guys are this stumped, you got lifelines. You can use them.
There's just no way it negates it forever. Carrot's OP if that's the case.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. I am going to say the turn.
We agree on final answer here?
Yeah, I guess.
All right, you guys are incorrect on this one, and I'll explain because there's a little bit of more intricacy here. So in Yu-Gi-Oh, when you activate a spell card, if it's a continuous spell card or a field spell card or something like that, activating a spell card is also the same thing as activating a spell effect. So even though Mystic Mine does not have any applied effect upon activation, Sprite Carrot is still able to attempt to negate that effect. However, in the situation, because it doesn't negate the activation, the Mystic Mine will remain on the field, but it won't negate the continuous effect of Mystic Mine for the duration of the turn. It'll only basically negate whatever applied effect happens upon its activation. To put it in simpler terms, say your opponent was to activate Magical Meltdown. If you Sprite Carrot, it'll only negate the adding of Alistair, but for the rest of the turn, if they fusion summon or something like that, you can't like negate the activation of their fusion spell still. That being said, you are currently 2 for 5. This was a tough one, I will give you that. I think every question that we've had that you guys have differed on, there was always one of you that was right, one of you that was wrong. Those of you
That's the worst part. Like we're two halves of like a slightly average brain. It's so frustrating.
It is time to get into question number 6. So are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's run it with question number 6. We have the
this
return
again.
of the Book of Moon. You control
Ooh.
a gigantic sprite, and your opponent has a face down Book of Moon. Here in this instance, you will activate the effect of your gigantic sprite, to which your opponent is going to chain their Book of Moon in order to flip your gigantic sprite face down. In this instance, how will the effect of the gigantic sprite resolve?
So I hate Book of Moon.
Book of Moon is great. We love Book of Moon.
I'm glad Book of Moon made a comeback.
I think.
I think, if I can be honest, I think this came up at the YCS for me, and I believe we resolved it properly. So I'd like to say that I'm actually fairly comfortable in this answer.
Ooh, okay.
So the only way that I think Gigantic Sprite, my breakdown, is that Gigantic Sprite doesn't resolve if it's removed, right? Like if you gamma it or if you ogre it, right? Like ogre doesn't negate it, but it does remove it. And I think the reason that my thought process says it will resolve is because Gigantic Sprite attempted to activate, and even though detaching is not part of the cost, it's part of the effect. It already activated, and even though Book of Moon is going to book it, it already activated, so it will still
resolve.
What's the phrase you like to say? Resolve as much as possible.
Yeah.
So it will still resolve detaching the 1 and specialing the 2 from the deck.
Can I get a final answer on that one?
Yeah. I think it resolved.
Yeah, I'm gonna go final.
And if not, it's the YCS opponent's fault.
It is.
We can blame the YCS opponent. Well, your YCS opponent did not lie to you. You are correct. In this instance, the Gigantic Sprite will be flipped face down, and you will still be able to detach a material from the Gigantic Sprite and resolve summoning from the deck. And so the reason here is specifically because Gigantic Sprite simply detaches a material from a card you control. And despite the fact that your Gigantic Sprite is face down, the cards that you have attached to it are still Xyz materials, so they still get detached, and you are still able to resolve the Gigantic Sprite here. You are currently 3 for 6, the 50-50. You can mess up. If you get the next 2 right, you beat out Joseph, you beat out Farfa. Are you ready to get into question number 7?
Yes.
Let's run it with question number 7. In this instance, your opponent has a Mystic Mine in their hand and a face-down Raigeki Break. You have an Evil Twin Lila and an Evil Twin Kisakill in your graveyard. Your opponent is going to activate Raigeki Break, discarding their Mystic Mine, targeting your Evil Twin Lila. If you chain the effect of the Evil Twin Lila, after this chain resolves, can you activate the trigger effect of your Evil Twin Kisakill?
Okay, so this is really just how it resolves.
So it would. So realistically, you're activating Raigeki Break is targeting blue special summoning red. Red successfully summons, and then the Raigeki Break resolves, popping blue. So at the resolution, does
Kisakill
red?
draw.
Yeah, does red draw because
you
blue?
do not control a blue.
Yeah.
I feel like that's. I feel like it's almost too obvious.
I also
because
feel
what's your almost too obvious answer?
Like that literally so Raigeki Break, chain Lila summon Kisakill, Raigeki Break resolves, Lila goes away, Kisakill will not draw because it says if this card is special summoned. Is it at the time she summons, you have Lila on the board, and then it resolves, Lila goes away?
My brain is actually going to a question that I asked you like 6 months ago. We were in personal call. We were in Arizona, and there was a Salamangre Sunlight Wolf that had an arrow pointing to one of the opponent's zones. Opponent A activates Revolt, summons 4, makes Shureg, whatever. And then I asked, does the Sunlight Wolf trigger there even though it's in the middle of a chain? And your answer was yes, it will, because a monster was still technically summoned to the arrow, even in the middle of a chain. So based off of that has always stuck with me, because I'm like, that shit makes no sense.
Yeah, but this is to control, a Lila, so it's like...
The question, so it's if the card is summoned and you control a Lila. So technically when it's summoned, you control it, then the Lila is destroyed. I think it's realistically...
I do think it will resolve then. I think it will. I think Kisakill will draw.
I feel like it's the opposite, because I feel like Kisakill will trigger on a new chain. And Lila won't be on the board. Do you want to ask chat?
Let's ask chat.
Let's ask chat, Kevin.
You guys want to ask the Twitch chat on this one?
Yeah.
Let us ask the
I
Twitch
think we
chat.
will.
All right, it is time to cash in the Ask the Twitch chat lifeline. Here I'm going to let you guys tell me exactly what you want to pull and exactly what answers you want to give them the option to vote on. So I'm listening.
So what are we asking chat?
I vote we just ask chat, but question.
Do you guys want to just ask, does it draw or does it not draw?
Will Kisakill draw or no? Yes or no?
Will Kisakill draw or no? And the poll is up, ladies and gentlemen of the chat. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Will the Kisakill be able to activate in order to draw a card? So currently, in the first, couple of seconds, we already have 100 votes. We are at 94% saying no, and now 10% is saying yes, and 90% saying no.
Yeah, no, that's
You think so?
yeah,
Maybe
because
I'm
it's a new
just-
chain. It's a new chain.
Okay.
I will go with so I think because it will summon, then it will be pop. The red will trigger on a new chain, and it will not draw. That is also my final.
I mean, surely chat's not, throwing for us, right? Like, surely.
Throwing for content? You really think that the 1,150 people in the chat are throwing for content?
I mean, maybe.
So how you feeling about this one? What
I
is
think-
our answer here?
Yes, because now that I'm reading it, it says if this card is special summon and you control, it's like you don't have the second part. So I get it. We're just gonna go with chat. Yeah, sure. If chat's wrong, it's your fault. It's your fault, chat.
All right, so that's final answer. It cannot activate, therefore cannot draw.
Correct.
Oh my god, please.
All right.
Yes.
Well, you guys and Twitch chat are correct in this scenario. So
Yo,
here,
chat, we made it. I don't have to flame chat. Thank you, chat.
in this instance, the reason why the Kiss a Kill does not draw is specifically because the Kiss a Kill checks at the moment when it would activate. This next question will basically determine who you tie with in the end. You get this wrong, you tie Joseph and Farfa. You get this right, you tie Doug Zeef.
Oh, the
Damn.
DZ.
So we just can't beat the people we edit for. That's crazy.
We're equals. It's beautiful.
That being
All
said,
three of
are you
them.
guys ready to get into the final
Yes.
question? Question number 8.
Yes.
All right, let's run it with question number 8.
I'm sorry. Is that towers?
That is towers, yes.
What the hell
Yes.
is this?
Bro.
So-
It really shows violence on this last one here.
Your opponent controls a Bean Soldier, an Apocryphal Towers, an Adventurer token, the Fateful Adventure, and a Fluon de Riz and Rabina. You control an Evil Twin Trouble Sunny and another Evil Twin Trouble Sunny.
A very
And
realistic voice.
very realistic. And you also have Evil Twins Kiss a Kill and Lila in your hand.
You always do.
You
Every
al-
single hand you draw this card.
So you are going to be tributing the 2 Trouble Sunnies you control in order to summon your Evil Twin Kiss a Kill and Lila, and you are going to be activating its effect. In this instance, which of your opponent's cards can and cannot your opponent send to the graveyard when resolving the effect of your Kiss a Kill and Lila?
So
Yes.
I
A very common occurrence here, chat.
This is the most common game state ever.
So
This is-
I know for a fact.
I know the token you cannot do.
You cannot send
can't
the
do
token.
the token.
You
That's-
cannot send the token to the graveyard.
You
so
can send the
token,
Bean Soldier by Bean
Bing
Soldier.
chilling.
Got
This
it.
is gonna take me a second, but I think my
Yeah.
brain is moving in the correct direction.
Oh,
You can
no.
activate this effect. Your opponent controls 3 or more cards. They must send cards to the graveyard until they control 2. My brain is thinking that because the twins say your opponent chooses, this card technically, I want to say, I don't know what the word is, but like it doesn't apply or it gets around the tower's restriction because the twins is making your opponent send cards and towers is not immune to you. Like the play, you know what I'm saying? Does that
I
make
understand.
sense?
I understand what you're saying. I understand what
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
saying.
So it was
So
just
Bean
like,
Soldier's gone.
Yeah.
Fateful is gone.
No, the Fable's gone. Token cannot.
Token cannot. So the question is, which of the 2 are apply or don't
Are the
apply?
electric boogaloo.
So the twins say you can activate the effect and then your opponent chooses. So my thought process is because you're activating the effect, you're basically allowing your opponent the option. So your opponent is now the one who's applying the.
But can they do it? Is the thing.
Yeah,
though.
that's
Like,
the
can they do it? Because like it's still an effect, an activated effect from a monster whose original level is lower than that.
So this kind of comes back down to like the mind thing, right? Like does Mystic Mind affect the player? Or
I
the...
think they can send it. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think
I
you're
think-
kind of on this like wavelength where it's like, I mean, like so like if the opponent has to choose, the opponent is like, it's because the question is like, which ones can you send to the graveyard? I feel like you can choose to just send it because it's asking the
So
player
then,
to send.
yeah, it's that, and then the Rabina is if it's into the graveyard, it's banished instead.
Only so they must
Send
send
cards to the graveyard. Okay, I'm saying they
I
have
do not
to
think
keep,
Robina can hit.
Yeah, they have to keep the token and they have to keep Rabina.
And the first one is weird because like I feel like you can choose to send it because the opponent.
My mind is made up. This one's on you now.
I'd also like to point out you guys do still have a lifeline, and this is the last question. So I feel like
I
if there's
just-
ever
I
a good
just have a
time
hard
to use it,
ask
now's
you.
the time to use it.
I know what I would ask, but I just don't know if you could like answer it.
You can ask it. If I can't answer it, I'll tell you. But if I can answer it, I'll take away the lifeline and answer.
My question would be, right, so like the twins is activating the effect, but like your opponent is technically choosing. So if my opponent is choosing and I'm technically not, like I'm not making my opponent do it, I'm just activating the effect. My opponent is the one choosing the cards. So because Towers is unaffected by activated effects, even though I'm activating the effect, my opponent is the one making the decision, not me. So does that like get around the Towers, so to speak? That would be my question. I just don't know, like I'm horrible at wording it and I don't think you can answer it.
I understand your question and I wouldn't have a problem answering that. So Logan, are you okay with me answering this question, or is there another question you'd like to ask? Something like that?
I think that's fine.
Okay, so I will answer this question, and I will answer it with a scenario. If you evenly matched your opponent and they have a Towers or something like that, and they choose to not keep the Towers would be banished by the evenly matched.
Oh, so Towers can totally go here then.
Yeah. Okay, so we were right.
Yeah, so Rabina, token stay, final answer.
So you guys are both agreement. Let me just understand this correctly. Towers, Bean Soldier, Fateful Adventure can be sent. Token and Rabina cannot.
Yes.
I'll give me like 2 seconds on that one, Chief. I know the Rabina is like there's just always says it must send to the graveyard and just leave the field. Like that thing just never touches grave. There's just no way. Like so because it like it's yeah. I think yeah. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do it.
All right. So we are going to lock this in. You are incorrect. You will be tying with MBT and Farfa, and the answer here is actually that they can send everything that they control. Every single card they control is a card that they can send to the graveyard with the Kiss-a-Kill and Lilla. So for the Bean Soldier and the Fateful Adventure, very easy. For the Towers, you are correct as to the reason why. It's because you are making your opponent do the action in the case of the Token and of the Robina. The way you need to look at this is that the Kiss-a-Kill and Lilla basically make your opponent send their card to the graveyard for effect. This is the exact same thing as if you were gonna like Zeus them or Dingirsu them. If you Zeus or Dingirsu a token, it just goes poof. Shoutouts to Cody Angeloff. And if you Dingirsu or Zeus a Rabina, it just gets banished. The only reason why you wouldn't be able to send a token or Rabina to the graveyard would be for cost. However, when it comes to
was the twins wording of must.
Yeah, so that's the thing is your opponent must send cards to the graveyard. Basically what has to happen here isn't a question of they're paying cost sending to the grave for to activate an effect or something like that. It's they simply need to apply to enough of their cards other than 2 of the cards on their field. They need to apply an effect to send that card to the graveyard.
That was a trick question.
It was a little bit tricky. Shoutouts to N-Man for this one. N-Man really went hard on this one. It was a good one. I like this one a lot.
This is never happening. Like
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Sure, you know what? It's fine. We were average. I will take average.
Hey, that being said, you have tied Mr. MBT and Mr. Farfa. So I hope you guys learned something new, and I hope you guys had fun on the quiz. Thank you so much for Crush Cards for coming out and hanging out.
Thanks. Oh, man, this was a doozy.
Always a fun time. Go check them out on YouTube. Crush Cards, literally, they do a bunch of deck profiles. They have vlogs. They do everything, man. They're fucking insane. They're great. Don't laugh. Your content's good. Stop. Your content is good. That being said, thank you so much, YouTube. Thank you so much for hanging out. Leave it in the comment section below which content creators you guys want to see and with what deck. I know a lot of you have been requesting for a certain hard leg. So let me know who else you guys want to see. And until then, ladies and gentlemen of the chat and of the YouTube comment section, thank you so much for hanging out. And I'll be seeing you. Have a good one, guys. Peace.